All right, so as we begin to work on applying ink to the locomotive, we first will trim the orange areas. As I said, one of the nice things about this era of this locomotive is basically the steps, the handrails. There's no there aren't any, it's not white step sides, or it's all orange there, so it actually makes for a nice basic paint job. And the cab numbers, so actually there's not a lot to trim around. All you have to do is just kind of, actually you don't even really need to be trimming that part, come to think of it. You just sort of really all you need to be doing is one of the things to really realize is when there are steps you're doing that you don't really need to do, just kind of make it a little bit easier on yourself. A lot of this is just mainly to get the handrails on there and get the outside of the locomotive. Then all of this we're going to just basically trim black. And here, the one thing we might as well kind of quickly do is paint the window with gray, because gray doesn't pick up orange a whole lot. It's just paint the cloth window, but still kind of better off having the gray painted. And now that we have that trimmed, why don't we go ahead and paint the orange. I missed that. Same basic technique where but mainly we're just not going around anywhere near as much lettering on this. This is a nice, as I've sort of maybe mentioned once or twice in this, this is a pretty nice basic engine to be doing as you're building up some of your drawing skills, in the sense that Illinois Central is a very recognizable railroad, and it's one that actually people, very popular railroad, yet many qualities of this engine that don't really anyway make it look like it's any less challenging or anything, but if you start looking at it, there's at least 2 or 3 things about it. If you've done a couple of these drawings, the 2 or 3 things I would point out is that a good third or almost half of the engine you really almost don't even have to paint, because Illinois Central engines are white and orange, and then they have just the very simple black underframe. So just white, orange, and a black underframe. And orange is actually a pretty basic color to work with. And then the lettering, you're not coloring around lettering, you're and then, as I said, among other things, the steps of this are just solid orange. Orange is a pretty smooth color after you do 2 or 3 coats. Can be fairly forgiving. And one thing that happens after you start painting this is that you start to see that I didn't put the front handrail on. Didn't put this on, and I didn't put the back coupler pocket. So get these all. Okay, so now it's basically ready for the lettering and the underframe. Okay.